Cthulhu, eldritch horror, one of the old gods and the corruptor of all living things. Here are 10 facts you didn't know about him. Number 10. He is one of the old gods, parasitic, necrophotic symbiotes who are similar to demons, evil immortals who feed upon life and magic. They ruled in tyranny over the infant universe until they were stopped by the Titanic Pantheon, overwhelmed and imprisoned one by one during the Siege of the Gods. Number 9. The battle between the Old Gods and the Titans was as spectacular as it was destructive. The Old Gods used corrupted elementals like Ragnaros and ahn'qiraj to fend off the Titans. Cthulhu fought one of the Titans in Silithus. Even though seemingly both have fallen and were believed to be dead, later on we learned that Cthulhu emerged victorious from the fight, and his death was just a clever deception. Number 8. For countless ages, Cthulhu watched as races evolved and fought each other, while he plotted to take over the world again. In the desert into which he fell, Cthulhu found primitive life forms known as the Silithid. The Old God created avatars from the Silithid in its own image. These avatars were to be known as the Qiraji, a sapient race of generals in his growing army. The great fortress city of ahn'qiraj was created to house their growing numbers and prepare for the coming of Cthulhu. Number 7. Cthulhu waited patiently, while his children built him an army capable of exacting revenge upon the whole of Kalimdor, and did so for thousands of years, until he saw that the Titans long since vacated this world. The Old God's first step was to enslave the Anubisans who were left behind by the Titans to guard his prison. After doing so, he could start moving freely. When his invasion began, only the Night Elves were present to defend. As the whole of Silithus was soon engulfed by the Silithid and their Qiraji hosts, the Night Elf army was pushed back through Ungoro to the borders of the Tanar's desert. Number 6. The only thing capable of containing Cthulhu's power and the power of his children were the 4 dragonflights, who the Night Elves asked for help in this desperate situation. The bronze dragonflight was first to respond as the Silithid have assaulted their sanctum, the Caverns of Time. The elves alongside the dragons pushed the Silithid and their Qiraji hosts back into their city and erected a barrier out of rock, stone and roots from beneath the sands to create an impenetrable wall called the Scarab Wall to keep them imprisoned. Number 5. Centuries later, the gates of ahn'qiraj had been reopened and the war reached its conclusion. Rumors circulated that Cthulhu is present here with its great, horrifying lidless eye, surrounded by a sea of tentacles, and will vaporize every ignorant mortal who thinks of daring to challenge its supreme power and right to the world of Azeroth. Mortal heroes battled both the Silithid and Qiraji to reach the heart of the great temple of ahn'qiraj, where the Old God was defeated and his invasion into Azeroth was halted. Number 4. Being near Cthulhu or laying eyes upon him causes one to lose his sanity. The few adventurers who survived the close encounter with him say that they could hear voices in their heads saying, "Your friends will abandon you," or "You will betray your friends," constantly eating away at their mind, slowly corrupting them. Number 3. It is likely that the name Cthulhu is derived from the Greek word chthonius, which means under the earth or inside the earth. Although there was no specific god named Chthon in Greek mythology, the word chthonic is still used in mythological studies as an adjective to describe earth-related deities. Number 2. Cthulhu is said to have created a new metal, Elementium, linked to the elemental plane from which Cthulhu used to drag his elementals into the world, while the war with the Titans was progressing. The unique properties of Elementium allow it to absorb and channel elemental forces. One of the former prisoners of Cthulhu, the dragon Aeregus, states that Elementium is an element created by the volatility of Cthulhu. Number 1. Even though Cthulhu's body was slain by adventurers in the temple of ahn'qiraj, he was far from being dead. His whispers attracted the leader of the Twilight Hammer clan, Cho'Gall, who vowed to resurrect him and became corrupted in the process, his body distorting and partially resembling the Old God's remains. In the end, the insane ogre was defeated by Valyria Sanguinar, and Cthulhu has to wait for a different opportunity to return. Cthulhu is coming, guys. He's coming with all the other old gods. In Hearthstone, Whispers of the Old Gods is a new expansion, and Cthulhu is the free card. Everybody's getting Cthulhu, and we're getting the cultists as well. So I'm pretty excited for that. So let me know in the comments how you liked the video and who is your favorite old god. For the next Friday, next week, we are going to have a video about the old gods overall. Like Cthulhu, there was the most lore about him. There's also a lot about the Yogg-Saron, but we'll try to include N'Zoth and Y'Shaarj as well in our next video. So if you don't want to miss it, subscribe to the channel. And as usual, if you missed the previous videos, you can check out them in the card or on the playlist. There's Varian, Sylvanas, a lot of great characters. So that will be it for today. This is Gnimsh. Thank you so much for watching and see you guys in the next video.